for the last hi hello fly. It's my third time trying to record this there's a door open right there. You flew out the door 3 times. Why are you coming back? For the last time, I'm not Nirami. Hi, hello, welcome. My name is V, also known as Nirami, and today we're just gonna talk about how I'm not Nirami, actually. Yeah, okay. Jokes aside, yeah, I'm actually not Nirami. You might be wondering, like, Nirami, what does it mean? You know, what do you mean you're not Nirami? Like, that's literally your name. Like, what are you talking about, right? Are you an imposter? Are you a faker? Did you kill the real Nirami back then in 2020 and now you're replacing her? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, let me try to explain. So, you know this video, right? The carousel video that I posted last year, right? And basically in the carousel video, you can pretty much see the change, you know, from 2013 until 2024. And I would like to talk about that, and I'm gonna explain further what it means and how it connects to me not being Nirami. Shall we go to the beginning? Almost the beginning. 2013, that's when I mean, as far as I look back, that's when I was using my original character, Nirami, the blue-haired panda girl, as my persona. Like, she was like original character, but that's how I liked to portray myself in the social media. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like drawing myself much, and it's been like that for a very long time. But yeah, you know, by looking at the examples, how I used to draw Nirami, it was most of the time just like this, like edgy, crazy, like bubbly, just like adventurous character, right? Because that's all I wanted to be at the time. However, I think at that time when I was like 13 years old, I was like just playing around with the characters and I was having a lot of fun, but I was just able to fully express it through my character though. And honestly, it would always change depending on my interest right now, because there was a time where I really liked like edgy characters, like ooh, like evil, like ooh, like blood, and you know, just cool edgy characters. Then there was time where I was like more into like adventurous type of characters, right? One type of characters that I always liked were those like positive, bubbly characters, you know, that are like active and like excited and happy and trying to stay positive. Those are my favorite type of characters, you know, at that time too. And even when I look back at my old art, I had inspirations like, for example, Pinkie Pie. For example, I tried to do a little animation, like a little animatic with Nirami by using Pinkie Pie's song Smile. It wasn't Smile, it was a different song, but this is the one that I drew, basically, the animation. And I just like really wanted to portray a character that's like super excited and happy and just like, yeah. I already said all those words. Anyway, and I think through the years, like the more I drew her, she always stayed the same pretty much. But like, you know how I said that when I was 13 years old, I was just excited. Like, I felt like myself. I was happy to express myself, you know, in a way where I just like couldn't do it in real life. And I think, you know, for example, at that time, I think in 2016 maybe, I kind of started to draw myself a little bit more often, you know, but like I still did prefer to like present myself as Nirami, the character, you know, the blue-haired character girl. And I think that was also the time where kind of like that was like a big change in my life. And I think that was basically when my realization started to hit that I'll never be that. Like, it was a time in life where I was like, I was so low. I was thinking of myself so low. I was like, you know, I was like being labeled as the like quiet and shy girl. And like, and I would like see other kids like make jokes and being loud. And I would think to myself like, man, that's what I am. Like, that's how I wanted to express myself. But knowing I never could, because then like others would make fun of me. So like all I could do is just to be quiet and don't talk, so that I don't give people reasons to bully me, basically. I think that was another thing where it's like I yearned to be myself. Like, I yearned to be like bubbly person. I yearned to be just like positive. or just like at least trying my best, at least trying my best, you know. Again, like at that time I hit such a low point in my life where I just accepted my role as a pretty much like being a side character in my own story, kind of like, you know, just like put other people as the main characters, and I accepted my role as this like quiet, boring, shy, I would also say unattractive, because that did play a big role in my life back then, like with my self-esteem. And I just like, the bar was below zero. Like I was literally thinking so low of myself, and I accepted it as a fact, not as an insult, but as a fact. I was like, well, that's who I am, and that's what my life is gonna be now, you know, for the next time, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's just my part of life. And I think at that time I kind of felt depressed, because again, the realization hit that the character that I portray online so much and that I kind of yearned to be, I started to realize that I will never be that. Like I'm such an opposite of it. And during the carousel video, that's what I did try to portray as well, that at that time I was feeling the worst, and the camera switching up to my character Nirami, the blue-haired girl, just feeling kind of uncomfortable and not sure what's going on, because I think that's when we started to separate from each other. I still kept her as a bubbly character. Like I kept her positive and happy and bubbly, you know, because I did not want to change her. That she was supposed to be like this character, and I didn't want to change that, you know. But it was just kind of sad that she was something I wanted to be and I couldn't. That was also like the time when I started to do the animation memes, like the Bang Bang and Friends animation meme, again, where I just like started to give her her own like character and personality, instead of using myself. Yeah, just like her becoming her own kind of person, you know, and me just being nothing, you know, just a creator, you know. However, in 2020, I had a big change in my life where I pretty much left everything behind me. Like I dropped out of the school. Don't drop out of the school, kids, okay? Don't drop out of the school, okay? If you're like in university or something like that, just keep going. But personally, for me, it was just simply a bad choice of direction. How the did you get in here? The fly is back again. You. As I was saying, it was just, let's just say I went to study biology, okay? My friends back then decided to go and study biology, and instead of like being my own person, I felt pressured into also go and study biology, which is like, girl, that's like the most stupid thing you could ever do. And obviously it was too much for me. I was not able to take the test. I was failing classes, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drop out. It's just a waste of time. To which even my teachers agreed, by the way. They said, oh, it's such a good thing that you like already know that you're not gonna make it. Good job. So yeah, that was the time where I just left everything behind. The people that kind of held me back, they did hold me back from becoming my own person and, you know, being scared of expressing myself. That's when I started to take little steps. That's when I met my like people that became my second family, and I love them dearly because I would not be here without them at all, and I don't want to think about where I would end up without them if I didn't met them. But they basically started to like show me that like I'm worth it as a person. Like they started to show me my good sides. They didn't make me feel bad for like slowly stepping out of my shell. And when I realized that there is basically no danger anymore that I kind of need to be scared of, I started to trust myself to, you know, try out more things. And if you think about it, it's kind of funny because like it felt like that for so many years in school. It felt like my brain just froze and I was not able to develop as a person, and I was like stuck in the same mindset for literally years, like I don't know, 6-8 years or something, you know, until I left school. My brain was not able to develop. It's simple as that. And I think I only started to develop my brain again when I was 20 years old, because I started to find out new things about myself. I started to, you know, try out new clothes and everything else, and it felt like experiencing puberty, if that makes sense, because I was finally allowed to breathe. I remember thinking to myself like, man, I've never felt so alive. I never knew that life can feel so good. What I'm trying to say with that is just that I finally started to accept and love myself, and it was a very long way, because I also started to go to therapy for like 3 or 4 years, and that helped me a lot too, to just like kind of let go of the past. And I'm still working on it, but I made a lot of progress. I really did. And back to the topic, to why I'm saying this as well, is because I started to love myself more. I realized that I do not need to portray it through some character, you know, in order to feel it, or feeling like fulfilled, you know what I mean? So basically in that shot, like in that scene from like 2024, when I finally started to like smile, like feeling more confident, you know, like sitting more relaxed on the carousel and just like being kind of like giddy, just like smiling, like satisfied, if you know what I mean. And then it just like turns over to my character Nirami, how she is pretty much like more confused than before, maybe because like she kind of like started to realize that, you know, I'm the creator, and like I, you know, changed how her life went, you know, like just adding more things to it and like changing things back and forth, and kind of as if it's like actually meeting for the first time while being kind of like aware of what's happening, I guess, you know, like growing out of this childish mindset, I think, you know. So I think basically that she's not depressed or anything. It's simply that in the moment she was like kind of understanding the situation, I guess, or just like wondering like, hey, like what are we doing here, like what's going, like why are you smiling at me, what's going on, like did I miss something? But I did keep Nirami still a positive character. I maybe like toned down a few things, you know, because I felt like it wasn't more realistic to how I want her to be portrayed. I'm still working on that, but she's definitely still the same like positive, you know, bubbly person compared to her brother. That's another topic as well. I forgot to tell you guys, Nirami has a brother, and that was because I was watching iCarly and I saw Spencer and I thought, oh my god, such a cool brother. I want to have like an older brother like that. And I gave Nirami an older brother also named Spencer, you know. Here you go, that's the picture. I only like years later I realized what I actually did and why I did it. But it's kind of funny looking back, you know. Yeah, funny. But, okay, back to the topic. I think she just like, maybe you see her like being like serious and annoyed a lot is because whenever I draw her with Martin, she's like a little bit annoyed, but you know. But yeah, they like each other. Again, what I'm trying to say is that like in the recent years I started to accept myself, and I was not scared to draw myself more, because I've been avoiding that many years before because of my body and face dysmorphia, because I didn't know how to draw myself, because I just literally didn't know like what I look like. I don't know how to explain it to you. I literally like didn't know what I looked like. And yeah, I just started to feel more confident, and I only started drawing myself more like 2 years ago, I think. So yeah, again, explaining to you, when I say I'm not Nirami, I'm just simply saying that Nirami is the blue-haired character girl with the panda ears, you know, red panda ears, and I am basically just the artist, V, like Vlada. My name is Vlada, but I also like people to call me V because it's simple, you know, you can't misspell that, honestly. But that doesn't mean that I don't want people to call me Nirami. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to explain it to you. So I understand if people continue calling me Nirami, like, honestly understandable. You can continue doing that, I don't mind. But sometimes it's just like easier for me to understand when people ask questions, whether you're talking about me as an artist or are you talking about my character, like the blue-haired girl. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to kind of share to you as why you sometimes see people online calling me V instead of Nirami, you know, because I mentioned it a few times already. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, follow and subscribe. It's the same thing. Like, share, follow, and hit the notification bell button. And don't forget, I have my own merch shop, and we also have the Asya plushie. Okay, so if If you want one, don't forget to get it. And yeah, take care of yourself, get yourself a treat, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.